Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. I'm your host, Dan Sisk.
I'm Schroeder.
And guys, we have a really busy week of games to talk to you about, as well as a lot of really interesting news stories. This is, Eric, I would actually go so far as to say this is the best crop of news stories we've had in the few weeks we've been doing the news roundup. A lot of
Yeah.
really fun stuff happens. So we'll start off with some fun news, but after that, we're going to get into the plethora of games that were going on. We've got Texas A&M versus South Carolina. We've got Oklahoma versus Alabama. We've got Georgia versus Texas, and we've got Notre Dame versus Pitt over in the college space. And then over in the NFL, we've got the Bills versus the Bucks, and we've got the Eagles versus the Lions. So, Eric, you ready to get started?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, guys. So starting off with the news roundup of this week, the the big story in the NFL, at least on the field, was Shedeur Sanders. Everyone was thinking about whether or not, how long it was going to take, rather, for Cleveland to finally put him into a football game after he lost the backup position to Dylan Gabriel in training camp. Dylan Gabriel ended up having to go start a few games in the middle of this season. Was predictably awful. But then Dylan Gabriel got hurt this past weekend, and Shedeur Sanders made his NFL debut. And Eric, how did it go?
Horrible. Really bad. I
Awful.
mean, oh my gosh, it was terrible. He only played, what a quarter, it's like two quarters or something, but I mean it was terrible. He had the lowest completion rate in an NFL debut in like 41 years. Um Most inefficient NFL debut by a quarterback since Ian Book in 2021, and then Ian Book obviously he only started one game. Um, he had the fewest yards per attempt, 2.9 in an NFL debut since 2001. So it was just all around terrible. I mean, hopefully he can pick it up next week because they're going to need him to, but this is terrible. I mean, it was just so bad. And he didn't play good at all. And I mean, he even said it. He said, "I don't think I played good at all." And yeah, he
You think?
wouldn't be that would be correct because I mean, he also
Yeah.
had an interception in there too. He had 47 yards. So yeah, not
Yeah,
good.
Mel Kiper Jr. was probably having an aneurysm while he was watching that game after all the hype that he was putting on Shedeur Sanders in the lead up to the draft. He was the one, Eric, who was leading the charge for him being a first round pick.
Yeah.
And Mel Kiper was like, who new phone, who dis? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Um, yeah, man, he does not have the raw talent to make up for the fact that he has a lot of fundamental issues. As you were saying, I mean, he was constantly throwing checkdowns. I mean, the
Yeah.
entire game. And you can't win like that. I mean, I understand Cleveland's line isn't elite, but I
Yeah,
mean,
no, and I mean,
it,
Baltimore's bringing a lot of pressure too.
of course, but I mean, you can't blame it all on the line. At the end of the day, I mean, the best quarterbacks can use their raw traits and the fundamentals of the sport to make up for those deficiencies on the roster. And Shedeur Sanders simply does not have the fundamentals needed to be an NFL caliber starter. Um, I, I'm not going to give up on the prospect of him being a backup somewhere. Um, but I just, I understand it's one game, but I just, we know how this dance is going to end, man. There's a reason he fell to the fifth. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes. I have low expectations for Shedeur Sanders moving forward. I think everyone it will, and I know that his first game was worse than most. But I
Yeah.
mean, I truly believe, dude, that after all of that, after the constant questions about his character, I mean, in the last iteration of our show, one of the first episodes, dude, we were talking about remember when he played Nebraska in like week 2, and he came out and complained about his own offensive line and said that, blamed
Well,
them
he did
for.
that multiple times last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and he called out his line. He was like, there's a reason why we lost. It's because I didn't get as much protection as Raiola, and he was obviously referencing Dylan Raiola, the quarterback of Nebraska. Um, but it's like, we've been questioning his character for a long time. The draft slide to end all draft slides. He got hurt in the preseason. He got demoted behind Dylan Gabriel, who's smaller than me. And I mean, it just, after all of that, you needed to put on a show to quell the doubters. He should have been getting onto that field ready to prove the haters wrong, and instead he did everything but prove them wrong. He proved them right. And you just can't win like that. So, I feel for Kevin
No.
Stefanski. That man is hampered substantially by the owner. I mean, we know though that he's a puppet for Haslam, right? But I mean, he's a two-time coach of the year, and he's been stuck with Deshaun Watson and Dylan Gabriel and now Shador. I mean, that I feel for that man. He probably has a gun to his head constantly. And that no coach can, accurately lead men in that environment. Cleveland's a mess. I mean, grass is green, water is wet. I think we should just accept it, that it's never going to change. And move on.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, they draft 2 quarterbacks, in the draft
Yep.
and miss on both of them.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's gets to a point, and then in college, I mean, Shador, he was projected going way too high, first round, even, like, top 10 pick, that's way too high for him, he
Yeah.
wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
It's just because of the name,
Uh
and
huh.
then Dylan Gabriel
And
wasn't
Travis
that good
Hunter.
either in college. I
And
mean,
Travis
neither
Hunter. Let's be fair. That's why
well,
Sanders is high, because
but he won the Heisman.
of course, and I'm saying that's why Sanders' stats were boosted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous, and then I saw, this came out 8 hours ago by NBC that $200,000 in property was also stolen from Shedeur Sanders' home on the day of the debut, so, make a, bad day like, really bad.
make
I
it
mean,
make it more. Yeah.
that might be the worst day ever.
Yeah, that's awful, man. That's like really bad. um,
So yeah, sucks, that sucks, but, I mean, I don't know. It's,
yeah.
yeah.
I,
He's gonna
I just
start next week and play
yeah,
terrible against against the Raiders, and the Raiders are a vulnerable team right now. They're not very good,
yeah,
and yeah, it's gonna be bad. That's a bad game.
yeah. I feel like I feel like, we just we need to be honest, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Sanders is 100% of the problem, because again, he is in an awful
He's
organization.
not. No.
He's in a terrible spot, but he just doesn't have the raw ability. He just doesn't, and uh, it's an unfortunate situation for him. Uh, we'll see how he progresses.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but would he really be doing anything anywhere else? I mean, this is
I
honestly
no,
the best place for him to start.
no, yeah. As I said, you had to play near lights out to shut everyone up after everything that happened in the preseason, and
100%. And
yeah,
but you can't do that with a struggling team like this already, so.
you can't, you can't. I mean, how do you play worse than Dylan Gabriel? How's that possible? I mean, that's
Yeah, that's
that's an
pretty bad.
indictment if I've ever seen one. Um,
Who
so
knows? Maybe he'll turn around next week. He did kinda just get thrown to the wolves that game, but he's gotta
fair,
be ready, man. He's a backup quarterback. I mean, that's what they're there for.
exactly. I mean, especially after you know Gabriel became the number one. I mean,
Right.
you had to be ready. So
Yeah, 100%. Yep,
I
I agree.
we'll see what happens. You're right. Maybe with a true week of prep, he can get ready. But I don't. The again, I think no matter how often he looks at the playbook, Eric, and how late he stays at the training facilities, I don't think he has the talent to make up for the deficiencies that are inevitably going to come when the ball is in
Yeah.
his hands. So
Yep,
that's just reality.
for sure.
Okay, that's all I have on him. What about you?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, next piece of news. We thought about doing this last week, but we wanted to wait for more info to come out. Antonio Brown, Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess, Eric, I want to start with you with a question on this. Um, is this the saddest story in NFL history? I mean, I feel we
Yeah,
are at the point now where it might be.
it's definitely up there.
You
Yeah,
know,
for
I
sure.
just
Yeah, for
it's
those of you that don't know what happened, Antonio Brown's attempted with murder
yeah,
in Florida. So he's accused of grabbing a handgun from a security staffer after a celebrity boxing match in Miami. This was in May, and then he fired 2 shots at a man he got in a fist fight with. And then I guess he was also he was like extradited or whatever from Dubai. He was in
Dubai.
Dubai,
He fled the country. Yeah,
and yeah, so now he could face up to 30 years if convicted.
yeah,
So yeah, this is huge news. And back to your question, saddest story. It's definitely up there, man. I mean, all the stuff that's been coming out about him recently, and even over the past like a couple years now. At this point, I mean, it's getting pretty bad. And that whole thing with the Bucks to him just leaving mid game. It's like
yeah,
it's hard to really defend him anymore.
yeah. I just it's so sad because before Vontaze Burfict, which we'll touch on in just a second here, before that game, dude, saying he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory was an understatement. I mean, he was otherworldly. And I know that's a big, term, but it's true. I mean, he was absolutely remarkable. Every play was a joy to watch. And, I'm not saying he was a perfect, A+ citizen before that happened. I mean, he ran. Remember when he spiked the punter, the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
kicker,
that
and
was
ran over
hilarious.
him. I mean, he wasn't perfect, of course, but I mean, it was it just it's clearly undiagnosed CTE, and to see a man who has so much ability spiral like this. I mean, that Bucks game in New York is going to go down as like an infamous moment in the history of the league, I believe. Solely because of how remarkably unprofessional he was and how little he cared. I mean, to do that in front of the public like that, and on national TV to do what he did. Um, I mean, the man needs help. I mean, this is like before this, I would have said probably Josh Gordon was the saddest story, Eric, because Josh Gordon was only hurting himself with his drug abuse and his addictions. And he was another receiver who was remarkably gifted, and he just could not keep himself out of a pill bottle, and it ultimately cost him his career. But luckily, Josh Gordon's living happily now. He's sober, to my understanding, and it worked out for him, but it cost him a Hall of Fame career and tens upon tens upon tens of millions of dollars. This is, I mean, this man's going to go to prison, and he's
Yeah.
going to go there for decades, and he's probably going to deserve it because I would imagine that the attorneys, the state attorneys who are in charge of this case, will find evidence to find him guilty. Especially because it was at a boxing event with a bunch of celebrities there, so that there are probably a ton of cameras and audio files that are going to link him to this alleged crime. Um, so yeah, it's just a real shame. I agree. You can't really feel bad for the guy. I mean, he unlike Josh Gordon, he is hurting other people. Or at least attempting to hurt other people, right? But it's Vontaze Burfict's fault. Let's blame him. You know, let's throw it on him. I mean, we need to watch out for these injuries. We need to find a way to find we need to find a way to get these people help. I don't care if you can't diagnose CTE until death. I don't care. We need to find a way to help these athletes before they hurt other people. And more importantly, before they hurt themselves. We need to find a way to help this, and cure this problem because it's becoming a real, real plague and a black eye on the sports. I mean, look what we were talking about last week with Nealand, right?
Right.
I mean, it's really a problem. So I don't know. I just it's really a sad situation, man. That's really all that was really
Yeah.
my big takeaway from it.
Yeah. I completely agree with everything you said. It's, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, just to see him spiral like that since what, like, I don't know, 2020 maybe, I think it was when he walked off the field. I mean, it's
No,
just
no, no, no. I think that was like a couple years later because 2020, I believe that was the Patriots year for him.
okay.
And so the Bucks was after
2021, 2021.
2021. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
makes sense. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's, pretty unreal. I mean, like, for his character at the time, it's like I guess even right now, this isn't too crazy, you know? I mean, you obviously don't expect him to shoot somebody, but I mean, he's always in the news for just the wrong things. And especially recently these past what, 4 years now, and it's just not good. And it
yeah,
sucks cuz he was such a great talent.
yeah. I mean, did you know he bought a an arena league football team um that had won back-to-back national championships, and that team was bankrupt and out of business within 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about that. I mean, honestly, we're getting to the point now where, I mean, that one's more funny than sad. But I mean, getting to the point where his story, honestly, is we're getting to like Aaron Hernandez levels of like, we need to make a television miniseries about this guy, And like, I mean, it's just, it's a fascinating story, and um, it's going to be really interesting looking at the other side of it. Um, because again, I think this is going to go down as one of the saddest stories in the history of the league.
Yep.
Yeah, really, 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 really a shame. Um, that's all I got
Yeah, that's all I
for
got as
Brown
well.
Review.
Yep.
Okay, so guys, the last story, Eric. I think a coach got hired.
He did, and it's James Franklin headed over to Virginia Tech. I mean, we knew it was coming, not to
Great
Virginia
hire.
Tech. That's kind
Great
of
hire.
crazy, but we knew he was gonna get hired somewhere. You know, you
Yep.
can't let him walk after what he did with Penn State, even though it wasn't that good. He was still at Penn State. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, Virginia Tech is a really good team for him to go to.
Uh huh.
Way less, or I guess way more under the radar than Penn State and an elite program.
Yeah,
Recently that is, and I mean honestly, I think this is the perfect fit for him.
I agree. I agree completely. I mean, he's in a conference, Eric, where that isn't very competitive. How many times on this show have we complained and bitched about the ACC?
A lot this year.
Right? I mean, Clemson is. I think at this point it's safe to say. I know they just upset Louisville this past weekend, but I think it's safe to say that Clemson is on their way down. Dabo Swinney is clearly not evolving with the game, and it's hurting Clemson's ability to compete. Pitt, I mean, they have a couple solid players, but their offense is so inconsistent that they're not truly competitive. Georgia Tech, they have the talent, but again, inconsistency against weak teams, and they play it really close with a lot of low level programs. I mean, when you really look down, I mean, Miami, how many times have we laughed at Carson Beck over the last month? I mean, when you really look at the ACC, Eric, it is weak. And James Franklin has the recruiting ability and the coaching ability to get that team to 9-10 wins each year, which in that conference is almost an automatic berth to the ACC title game, which
Yeah,
means
100%.
there's a good chance that he's in the playoff. I mean, it's a perfect fit for him. That's a great hire. It's easily the best hire they've made since Beamer retired. I agree with you. It's a perfect fit for him. He's gonna find a lot of success there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, 'cause Virginia Tech, they've been struggling for years now.
Yeah.
And you can also, like you said, great recruiter, but you can see a lot. I don't know if, amid Penn State struggles right now, if you might even see recruits follow him to Virginia Tech.
I think there's a very good chance that they do because I mean, you don't get recruited by these days. I mean, we all know you don't get recruited by the school; you get recruited by the coach. So, I mean, there was a mass exodus of recruits that left Penn State. Um, in the immediate aftermath of his termination. Um, I would imagine that a number of them will, especially because, dude, Virginia Tech's not that far from Penn State.
Right.
If you have Pennsylvania recruits, and I don't know how many of the recruits who left are from Pennsylvania. I'm just spitballing here, but it will not be difficult to convince them to go to Virginia instead.
And they would play at Virginia immediately.
Exactly. So I
So watch out for Virginia Tech these, couple years
yeah.
here.
Honestly, you're right, dude. The ACC, if I'm Miami and Georgia Tech, I am, and I guess Pitt. You just keep an eye on Virginia Tech. They are going to be probably not this year. I mean, that's a bit of a high expectation,
Yeah.
to immediately turn the program around. I mean, I know Kurt Signetti did it last year, but that's unrealistic. Um, but in 2 years, I mean, I would watch out for Virginia Tech. I really think that's a great hire for them.
Yeah.
And I wish James Franklin the best. I have no ill will towards him. I complained about him extensively when he was fired on this show, and I stand by every word. But I never had a true problem with him personally, and I truly wish him the best. He's a great man. He just wasn't a great fit with this program in terms of getting them to the next level. And I think it's a great fit for him to go to a school that isn't expecting a national championship. So, good luck, Jim. I wish you the best, truly. I guess yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my
Yeah.
only takeaway from it. Also, I guess it's important to note they took $9 million off of Penn State's buyout, so that's good. Then Penn State's not going to be paying quite as much money. Um, but yeah, yeah, good for him. I'm happy for him. I really am. So that's all I have on James Franklin. What about you?
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, that is it for the news roundup. That was a long one, Eric, but I mean, those were really good stories. I mean, I think
Yep.
we had a lot to say about that. Okay, guys, so we're moving on to the games of the week, and the first game, which I did not expect to talk about, I expected to move right into the the ranked matchups, but this game was absolutely nuts. Eric, what was going on with South Carolina visiting number 3 Texas A&M?
Yeah, so South Carolina heads to Texas A&M, and they almost win.
Right.
They lose 30-31 in an amazing game.
Uh huh.
South Carolina was leading 30-3 at the half. Texas A&M and Marcel Reed come back and win it with a 21-point third quarter. And what a game and it was just like a game of ups and downs for both these teams. You come out, South Carolina, Lenore Sellers comes out the gate firing on all cylinders and then drops off in the second half. And then you got Marcel Reed coming in, first half, plays terrible, comes in second half and lights it up. So
Yeah.
really fun game to watch. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah, man. That is we'll get to Texas A&M in a second. That is the kind of loss that kills programs. You
Yeah,
are up
yeah,
you are up 30-3 at the half and you get shut out in the second half 28-0 and you lose the game by a point. I mean, that is like a cruel twist of fate. Shane Beamer is going to get fired and at the end of the season and I'm truly shocked that South Carolina went this way, Eric. I mean, I really thought that last year, I mean, they didn't have an amazing year, but they were starting to turn a corner. Um, and this season they've almost completely spiraled. They're 1-7 in SEC play. Um, it's just been a nightmare for them. They've reverted back to the program that they were, and that's just such a hard loss. Such a hard loss. That's brutal. Um, I guess as for Texas A&M, yeah, man, Marcel Reed, look at this game. Look at this stat line, dude. 22 for 39, 439 passing yards, 3 TDs and 2 picks. I mean, when you're throwing for 39, yeah, when you have 39 attempts, I'll excuse the 2 interceptions. Um, Marcel Reed was great, man. That second half, you can't play better than that.
Mm-mm,
I mean,
no.
he was so good. And honestly, every receiver in the second half stepped up. Every single receiver made a catch when they needed to, and I mean, it was just an all around dominant half of football, the likes of which I really haven't seen in a number of months. Um, I honestly think it shows Texas A&M's resiliency. I mean, you and I have doubted them this year. We have questioned them. We have acknowledged their great season, but we have raised doubts, right?
Yeah.
And I still think obviously we need to have those doubts, but as I said when Ohio State played Penn State, every team has a bad half. Every elite team will have a half where they just aren't clicking. It happens. Okay. But more often than not, the team can come out in the second half and make up for it. I honestly thought that was too big of a deficit to overcome. At the half, I thought that their one half of bad football was so bad that you just aren't coming back from that. But my God, did they prove me wrong? I mean, it was just a remarkable offensive performance for the last 30 minutes of the game, and yeah, man, I feel like A&M. Uh, it's gonna be really interesting to see how they fare in the SEC as at large. I think now, I think we both expect them to annihilate Texas, right? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we'll see how they fare in the SEC title game. I mean, that's gonna be a fun watch.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was some crazy stat. Teams like trailing by like upwards of like 30 something points or whatever. They were like 0 and 200 something.
Oh, I did see that stat. Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember the number. It was like
yeah, and
278 or something. Yeah.
something ridiculous. And now it's 1 and 200 something. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just such a great game, man. Defense played lights out in the second half, and this is the Lenore Sellers we know and love in the second half. I mean, he came
Yeah.
out firing, and I was surprised. I mean, I like Lenore Sellers, but like he's a good athlete, not the
Yeah.
best quarterback, kind of like Jalen Milrow in a way.
Correct.
But a
I see
worse
Jalen
version.
Milrow.
He's like a
Yeah.
Walmart Jalen Milrow.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
he's obviously not as good, but he came out firing, and I was like, "Oh, damn, he just, like, proved me wrong," but he didn't. I mean, he played so bad in the second half, it didn't even matter what he did in the first. Cushion wasn't big enough, defense played terrible in the second half for South Carolina. All around bad. It was like the best, worst game you can have.
Yeah. And after the game, Lenoris was like, "Yeah, I might be leaving South Carolina." It's like, okay, good for you, buddy. Way to announce that after the most heartbreaking loss that fan base has ever endured. Uh, like, way to rub salt in the wound. I agree with you, man. I think you hit it right on the head. Budget Jalen Milrow. And I don't think anyone who watched football thought Jalen Milrow, while good, is like some elite quarterback. I mean, there's a reason Alabama struggled a bit under him when he was the under center for them. So, yeah, I'm with you on Lenora Sellers. Marcel Reed, I mean, I don't really know if I have a ton more to say on him. He did play a great game, but we've kind of touched on him a lot. So, I
Yeah.
guess repeat what I said there. Um, yeah, I was incredibly impressed by the comeback and just Beamer's getting fired, man. He's out. He's done. I would be shocked if he made it past the 2 week mark because now they aren't bowl eligible. Remember, so I would be shocked if a week or two after their regular season ends, he's still employed. I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked. Okay, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yep, all I got.
Okay, guys, now we have number 11 Oklahoma versus number 4 Alabama. Another excellent game. Erica, what was going on there?
Yeah, Oklahoma heads to Alabama, wins it 23-21. Great game here.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I don't even know where to start. It
Yeah,
was
I don't
just
either, man. I really don't.
just a shootout.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Ty Simpson played good. That pick he had was just okay. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst.
Um, John Mateer though, he played good. The only touchdown he had was a rushing touchdown. It was the only touchdown he had all game. Um, so that's a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't throw for one. He only threw for 138 yards.
Yeah.
Obviously this Alabama defense is good, but it's not what it used to be. And the fact that they still even won with him playing so bad kind of tells more about Alabama.
Yeah, man. I mean, Alabama was running the ball, was, moving the ball down the field at a far higher rate than Oklahoma was.
Yeah.
I mean, the Oklahoma offense really was, as you just said, subpar. Um, I mean, it really was, again, night and day. Oklahoma had far fewer yards of offense than Oklahoma. Um, sorry, than Alabama. But Alabama still loses. And I think that, as you said, I completely agree with you. That says a lot more about Alabama than Oklahoma. We've known that Brent Venables is a very smart defensive mind, but we have questioned his offensive ability. However, I think his defense played so well in this game, in crucial situations, that for the first time, I think we can confidently say that the defense for Oklahoma can make up for the offense's deficiencies. And that's a crazy statement to make about Oklahoma, which is always an offense first school. Um, but I think it's true. I really do.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson finally looked vulnerable, man. He was missing a lot of throws. I mean, I've been praising him up and down on this show, but his accuracy was off. 28 for 42 in this game. That's not great for him. I mean, wow, he's throwing for almost 75% of his passes. What a horrible game for him. I mean, that's like it was a little surreal. Again, his pick wasn't awful. But yeah, man, it was such a great game because on paper Alabama should have beaten them by 2 touchdowns and they lost. And that's why I think football is so much fun, because it doesn't matter what the paper says. It comes down to execution on the field in the big moments. And Oklahoma got the big moments. I mean, that's how the cookie crumbled. And that's what ended up allowing them to win. I mean, it's a hard-fought win. This is the best win of the season for Oklahoma by far. And I can finally take them a little more seriously as a team. I don't take them seriously enough to go far in the playoff or anything, but they're legit, man. They are.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah,
I like them. I like them.
yep, I agree. Yeah, I mean, as far as the game, man, like Alabama controlled everything. You know, they controlled the game amazing. They had 34 minutes of time of possession, 23 first downs.
Yeah.
I mean, Ty Simpson was sacked 4 times. They only punted 4 times, but I mean, 3 turnovers. They had three turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You can't do that. 2 fumbles. Come on. Can't
yeah,
do that.
but in every other aspect except turnovers, they outplayed them.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just crazy that they lost, because like you said, they were supposed to beat them by a ton, and now they're the last team in the SEC for the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be hard. Now, let's keep in mind, they are still on track to make the SEC title game because one of their losses was against Florida State, which is out of conference. So they are still on track to play in that game. Um, uh, that's crazy to me, but I mean that's the reality. So, um,
Yeah, they have a 71% chance to make the conference championship game.
yeah, they will. They'll make the game.
Yeah,
And it's going to be Georgia and Alabama again. So God help us all. Another game between those two. They're fun. I'm not complaining. But I mean, I just this Alabama team is so weird, man. destroying them at the beginning of the season. Then we praised them up and down. And now to see them play such a complete game, as you said, minus the turnovers, of course, and yet still lose. I mean, that's really damning.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to feel about Alabama at this moment in time. Is this team good enough to beat Georgia? I mean, they beat Georgia earlier this year, so obviously they are. But I mean, as we know, football's all about momentum, right? So who knows? Maybe Georgia can turn around in the SEC championship game and smoke Alabama. I don't know. It's this is an odd team to really evaluate, and it's hard to see how far they can or could go. Because again, there's such an enigma.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Alabama's just an interesting team, and Oklahoma again. I'm not a believer all the way, but we can take them seriously again, which
Yeah.
is uh which is an accomplishment in and of itself. Because Eric and I are hard to please. Eric and I are hard to make happy. So uh, if you impress us, well done. We have high standards. um, Looking ahead for both teams, which I think obviously we have to touch on. Um, Oklahoma, they're gonna obviously win both these games. They've got Missouri and LSU both at home. I mean, are you doubting Oklahoma's ability to win either of those games?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think
not
so.
even close.
Yeah, and then as for Alabama, again, a breeze. They've got Eastern Illinois at home. Good. And then they're at Auburn, who again just fired Hugh Freeze. So they're a deer in headlights right now. They're not going anywhere. So Alabama will make the SEC championship game. And I mean, it's going to be really, unless they choke against Auburn, of course, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that championship game, man. Because if Georgia comes out swinging for revenge, Ty Simpson might not be able to do all the work that they need him to do. Um, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game because I think at this point that's probably the most set in stone conference title game. Because I don't see Georgia choking against Georgia Tech as we talked about, and I don't see Alabama losing to Auburn. uh,
Right.
so yeah, I think we can officially start looking ahead to Georgia, Alabama, and it's gonna be a really interesting game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And good for Oklahoma. They needed that win. They
No,
really
this is a huge win for them.
yeah. Are you a believer, I guess before we move on to the next game, John Mateer, are we I think at this point it's safe to say that the injury's really getting to him and he's just not the same.
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. I mean, he hasn't been the same since the injury, and it sucks because he was having a great year. But yeah, I think that's not, that's not insane to say.
Yeah.
So
I mean it's hard. I mean
yeah,
it's a hand injury like that is really difficult to come back from, especially obviously for a quarterback who has to grip the football. Um
right,
so I mean it's he's supposed to have legs. I mean, he has a couple. He's able to move his legs a little bit. As you said, his only touchdown was a rushing TD. But yeah, man. I mean, I just feel he's okay, but he's not good enough to really level up Oklahoma. But at this
right.
point, I mean, they're going to make the playoff, and for them, I mean, they've been kind of all over the place in terms of consistency ever since Lincoln Riley left. So I think they'll just take a playoff berth. To be honest with you, they'll accept that. But
Yep.
okay, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys. Next game. I don't think either of us were expecting it to be this much of a blowout. And Eric, I am so excited for your rant on this. I've honest to God, I've been looking forward to this for days since I watched it. We're going to talk about number 10, Texas visiting number 5, Georgia. And Eric, how did Arch Manning play?
He played so bad. Oh my gosh, this guy
Uh,
stinks.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
terrible.
Bad. He's
Big
terrible.
game, must-win game. Now they have 3 losses. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They have, like, a 20% chance, which how do they even have a chance?
How do they have a chance? That's ridiculous.
It's, ESPN wants Arch Manning to be good so bad.
Yep.
I mean, it's unreal. He went 27 for 43, 251 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, and his interception was horrible because he sucks. And then on the other side, Gunnar Stockton, 24 for 29, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. What a great game that
And a
was.
running touchdown. 5 total.
Yeah, yeah.
Great game.
35-10. Georgia wins it at home. Good win for Georgia, but a horrible loss for Texas. They needed it
Yeah.
bad, and they didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
Georgia's defense was just really getting to Arch. You know, they had so many pressures. They 3 sacks allowed on them.
Yeah.
Punted the ball 5 times. And I mean, you can't win a game like that. You know,
No.
especially a big game like this against an SEC team that's going to just run down and score. I mean, it's terrible. They had 23 rushing yards. They literally couldn't do anything. I mean, Contravian, well, that's with Arches, minus 17. Contravian Wisner had 37 yards on 9 carries, no touchdowns. This Texas team is just not good right now. Obviously coming in as a number 1 team in the country preseason,
Yeah.
they haven't looked like it at all this entire year. Even week 1 when they were number 1 against Ohio State, they didn't look like it. They
Yep.
didn't show up. They did beat Oklahoma by a decent amount, but that Oklahoma win doesn't matter right now when you have 3 losses and you're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Arch Manning, he played so bad. I'm sick and tired of people saying he's good because he's not.
Yeah.
ESPN wants him to be good. They keep showing his highlights or whatever, if they even can find any for this game.
Yeah, really.
And it's just it's terrible. I mean, he had so much hype, rightfully so, but it's just because of his name, and it's I kind of feel bad for him in a way because there's no way he could have lived up to the hype that people were hyping him up to.
That's fair.
No matter really
I
what he did.
agree.
I mean, that's a big stage to come on and play lights out, against the number 1 defense, which was Ohio State at the time, week 1 that is, and then now we're what 12 weeks into the season, he hasn't progressed at all. He's had a few good games here and there, but he's not living up to the hype at all, which I understand is hard to do,
Yeah.
but it's not even close to what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I co-sign on everything you said. I mean, he did that in front of Peyton. Peyton was in attendance, and to do
Yeah,
that,
he was. Yeah.
to do that is just really bad. His big problem, he goes. I don't know if you noticed this. I feel like it's hard if you know the game of football. I think it's hard to miss. Honestly, he goes into each play with a preconceived notion of who he wants to throw to,
Yeah,
and if that guy is covered,
he panics.
he's a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times he had the ball in his hand and he was looking to throw to Emmett Mosley, and Emmett Mosley's covered, and he can't do anything, and he just ends up throwing it all, and throws a random incomplete pass to DeAndre Moore and can't complete the reception. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that happened. Arch, if you want to be a good quarterback, you have to be able to read the entire field and look at who's open and who's not. You can't go into each play saying, I want to throw to receiver A, and if I don't throw to receiver A, screw it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you can't use that mentality. You have to read the field. I honestly, Eric, I don't think he can read the field.
He can't, and that's a
I
great,
don't.
great point. Yeah, great point there because it's true. Like you said, he goes through one progression, panics, and just throws it, to DeAndre Moore or out of bounds. It's like,
Yeah.
and by the time, and he is so locked on to that one receiver that if he doesn't get open in 1 to 2 seconds, he's gonna either take a sack, he's gonna be under pressure, especially in this game, and it happened multiple times. He was under pressure a lot, so it's just like I don't know what the next step is. He just has to. I don't know. They got to do some drills with him or something to make him and film. I mean, watch film and you can see it. you
Yeah,
know?
like, here's the
I mean, it's
reality, Eric. Please
unreal.
continue, sorry. Um, uh,
You're good.
all I wanted to say was, like, here's the reality, Arch. If you are reading the playbook or watching film, and you're looking at your schemes, right? And you're seeing where everyone's gonna be when you make the pass. You wanna know a secret, Arch? Georgia knows that too. You think they don't have a book of Texas plays that they study over and over and over and over again for the week leading up to the game? I mean, it's called adjustments. I mean, it's football 101. This is stuff that you're taught at Pop Warner to adjust the playbook on the fly to allow yourself the best opportunity to complete the pass. I mean, does he? Eric, I don't think he understands this. And this is like middle school level shit. This is
Yeah.
basic levels of competency that a quarterback, especially one that was as hyped as he was, should know. And you cannot convince me that he's putting in the time to get better. Because if he was, then he would make adjustments. And he's not. As you said,
I
we're
think
12
it's
weeks
just that
in.
he's just been doing it for so long, like, I mean, the competition he had in high school wasn't amazing,
Sure.
and he's just been looking at one receiver this entire time for his whole life, and it's just the only thing he knows. It's not I mean, it's not gonna work in college, and it's definitely not gonna work in the NFL if he ends up going there.
Yeah. I mean, Sarkeesian is a really good coach. He's supposed to know that. He's an
Yeah, I
offense
know.
first coach. You'd think that at this point, they'd be able to figure something out.
Yeah. Now, of course, he doesn't have the best offensive line. We've said this multiple times, throughout the
Yes.
show this year,
Correct.
but I mean, it gets to a point, man, he's supposed to be a dual threat kinda quarterback, and it's just not. And I mean, it's just like a broken record with this guy, man. We say the same thing when we talk about Texas every time because he's played good maybe once this time that we've talked about him on the show. We've given him praise. I mean, this entire year it just seems like we're, bombarding Arch Manning with, just saying how he's not good and he's overrated, but it's true. I
I
mean,
mean,
he hasn't really proved himself at all.
other
The
than
only
the
game he
Vanderbilt game.
Right, exactly, yeah, last
Yeah.
week.
Last
And
week, he was great.
yeah, I mean, like, even when they beat Oklahoma, he didn't even play that good.
No.
So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, and he can't really do anything about it, but
No.
I mean, it's his fault.
Yeah. I honestly do not think he is capable of reading the field, which is funny because considering he does glasses commercials. Think about the irony there. Dude, they are gonna get slaughtered versus A&M, as we just said. I mean they are going to eat him alive.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be, hard to watch if you're a Longhorns fan, but I mean, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid, and I mean Sarkeesian did, and that's the bet he has to lie in.
a lot of people did.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people did, not just Sarkeesian. That's
Not
unfair to some
but we
teammates.
didn't.
We didn't. We didn't buy it. After that. And you were the one who led that conversation in week one. After that Ohio State game, I mean, that was pitiful what he did, and I just you were leading the charge and you were right. I mean, I did give him praise last week for Vanderbilt, and I stand by that. But clearly that says at this point it's obvious that says more about Vanderbilt. So,
Right.
um, yeah, I guess that's it for Arch Manning. Let's talk about Georgia a little bit because they actually absolutely killed Texas. So we should talk about them a bit. Gunnar Stockton. Here's my honest take. I don't think he's even a top 5 quarterback in college football this year. But I gotta tell you, man, he's a really good leader.
Yes.
The team really likes him. You can tell. I mean, he had 5 touchdowns against Texas, which I take what you said, what we just said off the table. Texas's defense is actually very solid. So
Yeah.
to do that against their defense is really, really impressive. Don't forget, he also had 5 touchdowns against Ole Miss. So it's looking like the Alabama game was the outlier for him. And every other game against a top, 10 to 15 opponent, he has played remarkably well. And again, I don't think he's even one of the best quarterbacks in the league but he's a really strong leader. The team likes him, and everyone delivers for him, and that's a lot more than I can say about someone that than someone like Arch Manning.
For sure.
So
Yeah,
that's valuable.
100%.
Um, as for the rest of the offense, I mean, Nate Frazier is a really solid running back. We've known that for a while. Dylan Bell's a really good backup to him. Zachariah Branch, his speed, oh my God, he's like he's he's like Dash from The Incredibles out there. I mean, he's just running up and down the sideline. And he I can't tell you how many times he almost broke through for like a really long gain. He had a really solid game. The defense was absolutely dynamic the entire time. Couple sacks, I believe 3 of them. Um, just again, man, just an all around dominant performance. This Georgia team is very good. Right now, I do believe that they have gotten better as the season's progressed. Right now, as we just said, it's looking like the SEC title game is going to be Georgia Alabama. Right now, I think I would predict Georgia to win that game. I don't know about how you feel about it, but I think that right now that team is starting to come together. They are having a lot of fourth quarter comebacks against lesser opponents. I recognize that. They had to do it against Florida. Obviously, that wasn't pretty. They had to do it against Auburn. I mean, they have had some close wins, but you can't deny that the talent on this team is dynamic, and I really feel that they're starting to click on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and you said it. I mean, they're clicking on at the right time too. I
Yeah,
mean, this is a great time to start, really putting the team together and, put some drives together. I mean, they had a 21-point fourth quarter in this game, which the score looks, I mean, it was what, 14 to 10 going
yeah,
into the fourth quarter. Then they
yeah,
blow it open with a 21-point quarter.
yeah,
I mean, and what would you say for Georgia versus Alabama?
yeah. For Georgia, Alabama, I honestly would predict Georgia right now.
I agree. I mean, we were just talking about Alabama, and they, led in every category, um,
Lost.
and lost.
Yeah,
So it's just, and then you put a defense like the Georgia Bulldogs, and it's game over. I mean, it's gonna be bad, and maybe not a blowout. Obviously, it's gonna be a close game, but Georgia wins. Georgia wins.
yeah, they do, and they have such a good coach, guys. In the fourth quarter, if you didn't watch, Kirby Smart, the crazy bastard, goes for a fourth down on his own 28-yard line and gets it. And then he goes for a fourth down again on the 50 on a 4th and 6 and is able to get a pass interference call to move the stakes. And they probably would have gotten the first down had the interference not happened. And then they get a touchdown at the end of that drive. And Eric, what do? They fake punt. Oh, excuse me. They had a fake kickoff. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Fake kickoff, onside kick, and they get it. I mean, I have in that 5 minute span. I don't think anyone's takeaway could be anything other than Kirby Smart is the best coach in the sport. He is so good. He is the highest paid coach in the sport. He has the biggest buyout of over $100 million. He deserves it, man. I mean, he is such a good coach. That 5 minute stretch, I was watching it. I was like, you go for twice on fourth down at that spot on the field, and you do an onside kick right after getting a touchdown. I mean, that takes some guts, man. That is firing on all cylinders. That's playing 4D chess when Sarkeesian's playing 2D. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like horror coaching. So good. I had to call that out because I was so impressed with that.
yeah, yeah. Coaching to the last whistle. I love it. We see a lot of guys just. I mean, it's I guess the right thing to do in sportsmanship to take it, take knees and just run out the game. At that point, it's a blowout. I mean, I don't mind it, but I mean, why not? Yeah, I mean, this is a Texas they're ranked. Why not pour it on them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't mind it.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a similar conversation in the next game.
Yeah.
But I feel that in this situation, I think that everything he did, and also Kirby Smart is a class act. I mean, I can't tell you how many times after Mike Norvell and Florida State decided to not show up at the Orange Bowl a couple years ago, after they got snubbed from the playoff, and everyone on the team sat, and Georgia actually showed up to play the game and beat them. What was it, 66-3 or something? Kirby Smart was still in the post game press conference talking up Florida State, showing respect. And I mean, he is a class act. I mean, he's a good guy, man. I mean, he did that because he had to, give Georgia the best chance to win. And at the end of the game, he did nothing but show love and respect for Sarkisian. And you'll notice that after all that happened, Sarkisian wasn't like, "Oh man, what a dick," like he was like, "Yeah, you outcoached me, man," So I mean, yeah, I don't, in this instance, I don't think Kirby Smart did anything wrong with that series of I mean, if you can't stop a fourth down on the opponent's 28, I mean, I don't want to hear anything about unsportsmanlike behavior. you know?
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, just play to the final whistle, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, really, really good game for Georgia. I think they're back officially.
Yeah.
So that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yep.
Okay, guys, next up, we have the number 9 Notre Dame Fighting Irish visiting number 22 Pitt. Eric, what was going on there?
Yeah, Notre Dame wins it 37-15 in a blowout win. Great win for them. They basically they jumped themselves up to a 61% to make the playoffs and not knock Pitt out yet, but it's not looking good. They're at like a 3% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, which is horrible, and it's so funny. So Pitt has 3 losses now. Mason Heinschel, I mean, he was getting all this hype from Pitt fans, and we said it whenever we talked about Pitt last week or whenever that was, that Pitt quarterbacks get a lot of praise,
Yep.
especially recently these past couple of years with Eli Holstein and now Mason Heinschel, of freshman quarterbacks getting way too much hype than they
Yep.
should be, just because Pitt's not used to being really good in a
Agree.
long time.
Yeah.
And Mason Heinschel played horrible this game. I mean, this was like kind of the first big game
It
that
was
he
his
kind of
first big
played
game.
it.
It was his first big game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was. There's no argument. Yeah, his first big game, and he stinks it up. 16 for 33, 126 yards, no touchdowns on the ground or in the air, and he had a pick. So then Eli Holstein comes in. I think it was like the fourth quarter. Went 3 for 6, 23 yards. I think a touchdown though. He had a touchdown, so
Yeah.
that's good, I guess. I mean, just anything to lift them up. Then they go for 2, don't get it. Horrible game for Pitt.
Yeah.
Really good game for Notre Dame, man. Jeremiah Love played lights out, 23 carries for 147 yards and a
What a
touchdown.
game.
And CJ Carr played good too, 21 for 32, 212 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but they won 37-15. So, and the
Okay.
pick was a pick 6, which gave Pitt,
Yeah.
some extra points. And then, well, when Pitt went for that 2-point conversion, I think it was the third quarter. Heinschel threw a pick, and Notre Dame ran it back. Crazy sequence there, but
Yeah.
I mean, horrible game for Pitt for sure. And then Desmond Reed, who's supposed to be probably top 10 running backs in the country, 5 carries for 12 yards. I understand they didn't feed him very much, but 12 yards, man, come
Yeah.
on.
And then he got hurt.
Right, exactly. I mean, all around terrible game for Pitt. Good
Yeah.
game for Notre Dame. I mean, I knew Notre Dame was going to win this game. We both did.
Yeah.
We weren't really buying into anything Pitt related as
Yeah.
we normally do.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, horrible game for Pitt. Good win for Notre Dame though. That really boosts their morale going in. So to playoffs.
Yeah, man. This was Notre Dame's first win of any relevance. I mean, they lose to Miami, they lose.
USC,
Yeah, USC, I guess a little bit, but I mean,
they're not bad.
they're not horrible. That's fair, but they're not. I don't think anything super competitive.
No, 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 no. Definitely
I mean, they're all over the. I mean, Lincoln Riley was cheering like a cheerleader as they were beating Iowa. So I don't want to hear a word about
not.
USC's being elite. They were celebrating being Iowa. It's like, bro, you beat Iowa. Like, shut up. Um, this was a huge win for Notre Dame. They needed to win a big game like this on the road against a ranked opponent that had hype, and they got it. I don't think either of us are buying into their playoff, standing. I don't think they're going far at all. I would not be surprised if they lose in the first round. Jeremiah Love cannot do all the work for them, as talented as he is. Um, but yeah, this was a much needed blowout. Uh, you know, decisive game for Notre Dame. But let's not kid ourselves. This is about Pitt. This game was, as you said, a complete embarrassment of biblical proportions. And Pat Narduzzi's actions in the fourth quarter when he called timeout with a few seconds left just so that they could get that last meaningless, ridiculously useless touchdown is one of the most absurd and laughable things I have seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah,
Um,
and we
I,
were just saying, play to the
I
final whistle, but that doesn't mean call timeouts when you're down by 1,000,000 and try
yeah,
and let the clock run, man. You're done. Season's
yeah,
over.
yeah. I just that was so absurd that I mean I think a lot of people lost respect for Pitt in that moment. Especially because this was for most people their first time watching Pitt all year. This was the first time the Pitt had had a leg to stand on. Um, yeah, man, just a complete embarrassment. Heinschel is just Holstein reincarnate. Which you don't want. Let's put it that way.
No,
That's not a good thing.
no.
I mean, they were starting to turn it around. The Florida State win at the time was I mean, Florida State was in the middle of right at the start of that losing streak, if you recall. So that win wasn't really noticeable, but every other victory that they have has been a complete waste of time for all of us. I mean, was anyone actually buying into Heinzel when they were beating Syracuse, NC State, and Stanford?
Pitt
Was
fans were.
anyone really? Oh, yeah, touche, bitch, touche. I mean, come on, like I agree, man. Pitt fans are absolutely nauseating. I don't know why they drink the Kool-Aid. Is it just because they don't have anything else to cheer for? Because I think that's it. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I just I guess moving forward, they're gonna get slaughtered by Georgia Tech and Miami. So
Think
I
so.
I I do. I don't think they're going.
I think they can win one of those games.
You do?
Just
Okay.
one, maybe Georgia Tech. Because I mean, what Georgia Tech? They almost lost to what was it? Boston College, I think it was.
It was all Boston College, yeah. So you're right. I think of either of those games, they have the better chance at beating Georgia Tech. I agree, but I still think
Yeah.
Georgia Tech pulls that game out. Yeah, man. I think Pitt is stuck in a situation where their O line is atrocious. Um, they have no ability to protect Heinzel or Holstein, and both of them are scrambling for their lives, and they are unable to accurately protect Desmond Reed, resulting in Desmond Reed getting hurt multiple times this year.
Right.
Because they can't protect him, they can't
I,
help him.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know why he doesn't just go somewhere else. I mean, we saw Jordan Addison when Kenny Pickett was there. At Pitt, he leaves to go to USC.
yeah, he
You
got the
know,
hell
and
out.
right, exactly. I mean, if you're, and I understand Pitt's got to be good at some point, but they're not going to win anything right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I understand they're going to have some dogs on their team with Desmond Reed right now, but I mean, if he really wants to win, he's got to be a loyal type of man to
yeah,
stay on that team because
yeah.
I
You're
mean
right.
it's hurting him.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, let's be real. It's because Pitt doesn't have any no money. They have no money. They can't afford to pay anyone. Like let's play this hypothetical out, okay? Let's say Heinzel has the game of his life and they beat Notre Dame. Okay, let's just pretend that.
Yeah.
And let's say Pitt makes the playoff, and let's say Pitt maybe wins a game before they get bounced in the second round. Heinzel's gone. You really think Pitt has the money
Oh
to
yeah, 100. Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have the and no money to keep him. And again, I they don't really have the money to keep Reed, which is why I agree. I think he's just loyal and good for the. I mean, that's a valuable skill. I'm not going to look down on him for that.
No, no, definitely not. That's
Um,
great. I love that.
but yeah, he is too good for this team because that O line. I'm going to make I've honestly, this is a hot take. I recognize that, but if they had an O line like a really good O line, Eric, they might be the best team in the ACC. They might be because Miami is super flawed. Beck is all over the place in terms of his consistency. Georgia Tech's defense is all over the place. Haynes King can't bail them out every game. I mean, they had the potential with a good O line to be the best team in the ACC. Now, is that king shit top of the turd pile? 100%. The ACC is not very good. However, I think for Pitt fans, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And I mean, I just they have I truly believe that with a good O line, they could be not truly they're not they wouldn't be a great team, but they would be very good. And this year, very good is good enough to win the ACC. Um, so I mean that does suck a little bit for Desmond Reed because they're so close yet so far. But I mean, at this point, he's choosing to be loyal, and you got to respect that. But I can only have so much sympathy before I'm like, yeah, well, you chose it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can't feel too bad.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, college football is it's interesting for sure. It's tough. The teams at the top, especially now with NIL, they're always going to be at the top.
yep,
Teams, I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, it's just with NIL. I mean, like Ohio State, your Ohio State's Georgia, Alabama, they're always going to be good. No
yep.
matter how bad they actually are, they're always going to be good. I mean, look at Texas right now; they're 7-3. That's not great for Texas standards, but a lot of teams would kill to be 7-3 right now.
Pitt would, you know. I mean, I guess Pitt is right now, but still, I mean, I just, yeah, I agree with you, man. NIL is really shaking up the sport in an interesting way, and
I don't hate it though, because I mean, even before NIL, the teams that were good were always good just because of the name.
sure,
I mean, I think these kids deserve to get paid too. So I don't know. That's just another conversation, but still,
yeah, yeah, and I agree with you. It's just Pitt's in a really tough spot because they don't have the nil money. I mean, it's and I really don't know how you get out of that, man. I don't know if there is a way out, which is unfortunate for that fan base, but still, cold hard truth. We're a show of truths. We tell you the truth. We're honest with you, and that's the situation. So
yeah,
yeah, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, guys, that is it for NCAA games this week. We're gonna move on to a couple NFL games that were pretty interesting. Um, we're going to start off with a game that I didn't think would be as interesting to follow as it was. But Eric brought up some really good points when we were prepping this show, and I think it's worthy of discussion. So we're going to talk about Tampa Bay visiting Buffalo. Eric, what was going on there?
Yeah, so Tampa Bay loses 32-44, and I mean Josh Allen goes nuclear. 6 touchdowns total, 3 through the air, 3 on the ground. He's unreal with his legs, and he takes a lot of touchdowns away from James Cook, which is funny if you have him in fantasy. But he went 19 for 30, 317 yards, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions. Yes, which that his interceptions have been a little bit of an issue this year, but they're still winning games. So honestly, it kind of negates it in a way. Would you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you can't look past the 6 touchdowns, but yeah, I feel like their rushing game is a real problem.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
the
Yeah,
rushing
James
game is a
Cook
real
is
problem.
inconsistent. He's been inconsistent for, I mean, his whole career now at this point. I mean, if he has a good game, it's going to be great. His bad games are horrible.
Yep.
I mean, he's a good I mean, they just have to I don't know what it is. I mean, they utilize him okay through the air. I mean, he had 3 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown, late in the game. But, I mean, he had 16 carries. It's not like they weren't feeding him the ball. He only had 48 yards. I mean, that's
Well,
terrible. Where Josh Allen, if he runs it, he has 6 carries right here for 40 yards. You know what I mean? So, and it's just like it's, it's not good at all.
yeah,
James Cook, he's gotta figure something out, and that's kinda what's holding this team back. Not only that, but wide receivers, we talked about it before, there's just the receivers aren't that good. So, I mean, Tyro Shavers, who he's been on the practice squad for, what, 2 years now? Gets called up, and he has a good game, 4 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. But if that's your leading receiver when you have, Gabe Davis or, um, what, Khalil Shakir, it's
yeah,
like, what are we doing here? So
yeah,
I don't know, but good game nonetheless. But Josh Allen is just carrying this team.
yeah. He is single-handedly the reason they're relevant.
He's doing it. Yeah, exactly. If he would leave, they would have 3 wins right now.
I would, you know what? That's a large statement, but I agree with you. They're a mess, and they have a bad coach. And
Yeah,
I
Sean
mean,
McDermott he's just okay.
yeah, Sean McDonough is bad, and I just he is single handedly keeping them relevant.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the guy, but we said that a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to repeat myself here.
Right,
I
right, right.
think as for Tampa, uh, uh, Baker Mayfield. Look, is he going to make the flashiest plays in the world? No, but I'll tell you what, he's a fit. You
Yeah,
know, you
yeah.
got to be fair. You got to be fair.
No,
He will.
100%. I love Baker's game. The Browns missed out on him when they traded him, and all the other teams that have traded him in the past. What, the Rams now, the Panthers especially are hurting.
Yeah,
I mean, and this is a great fit for him. He has, um, good receivers around him with, Tez Johnson. I think he will end up being good. He was good at what, Oregon. But I mean, Emeka Ibuka making a case for rookie of the year, probably behind Jack Smith and Jigba. And then he had Chris Godwin. And then even he has a great running game as well right now. Rashad White, he got out carried by Sean Tucker, who had a great game. That's I mean, you look at the stat sheet and Baker Mayfield, he only has 173 yards, touchdown, interception. But Sean Tucker commanded this game. It was really cool to see him shine.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Sean Tucker had a great game. I don't know, man. I feel Tampa is constantly just a piece or two away from greatness. And I really feel they've been that way since Brady left.
Yeah.
Well, he retired. But since Brady
Right.
retired, I mean, they really have. They've always been really close to being great. But they're just a little short. They're in a really awful division, which is why they're yeah, I mean they're first place, and it's not even close in the NFC South, and they're 6-4. So I mean that's
Right.
it's not like they're dominating the division, but they are. I mean they're really solid, man. I mean they're a good team. They're not a great team. I don't know how far they will get in the playoffs. But looking ahead at their schedule, they've got at the Rams, which is going to be challenging. That's the Sunday night game. Excuse me, Monday night game, I believe. No, that's Sunday night. I'm sorry. That's Sunday night is that game. Then you've got the Cardinals and the Saints, 2 blowouts. The Falcons, 3 blowouts. Panthers, 4 blowouts. Dolphins, 5 blowouts. Panthers, 6 blowouts. I mean, these are literally all blowouts after the Rams. So unless they choke one of the games, which I mean, obviously any given Sunday, but Tampa's looking really. They have an avenue right here to have 6 losses on the season, which would be a really, really solid year for them. And Baker Mayfield continuing his trajectory this season as a dark horse MVP candidate. He won't win, but he deserves a nomination. And he's really, really been a strong leader for them. It's been admirable to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so I guess that's my takeaway on Tampa. Buffalo, I would let's break down their schedule. What the hell? They've got the Texans, the Steelers, the Bengals, the Pats, the Browns, the Eagles, the Jets. They probably win 4 of those 6. Sorry, 5 of those 7, I would say. They're probably going to lose to the Patriots, and the Steelers are a crapshoot. But I mean, they've got an angle to make the playoffs with a really solid record. But we know how that story ends, so I'm not gonna theorize about what's coming because we know what's coming.
Right.
So, um, you know, poor Josh Allen, man. That's honestly been my takeaway the last few weeks we've been discussing the Bills. I mean, he is so good, and he has been given absolutely nothing, and it's really it's just a shame. Because he's so good, and no one's helping him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Uh, it's just a shame. Just a shame. That's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys. Last game we wanted to talk about the Detroit Lions visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eric, what was going on there?
Yeah, so the Lions lose it on the road to the Eagles 9-16.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, just kind of a snooze fest of a game
it was.
here.
Yeah, both quarterbacks were bad. Neither
Yeah,
rushing game was very dynamic. I mean, Saquon had a couple solid, 7, 8 yard runs, but nothing super sexy. Um, the offense was bad. The Eagles' offense, dude. I think at this point we just have to call it like we see it. They are awful. The
yeah,
the, the Eagles' offense is so freaking bad. I mean, when you factor in what they did against the Packers and now this game, ugh. I mean, it's ugly. I mean, Hurts is missing throws left and right. Um, None of the receivers are playing well. AJ Brown, he's his name is in the headlines more off the field than on.
yeah,
Jahan Dotson is ridiculously inconsistent. Devontae Smith is non-existent at all. Forget not being inconsistent. He's never shown up in a big spot. I mean, it's just that team's a mess. It is a miracle that they are winning games. They reek of an early exit in the playoffs to me. Am I reading too much into that?
I don't think so, to be honest. I really don't.
Yeah, I just that's my gut. I don't know. I mean, the Eagles, we kind of touched on them a little bit before, but yeah, I'm not buying in. I know the record is really sexy, but I learned with the 11-0 Steelers that you don't buy into a sexy record. So, um,
Yeah,
I'm not buying in. As for Detroit, I gotta tell you, man, it's looking like they're only a team that can deliver at home, which is a little surprising to me because I think Dan Campbell's a really good coach. You'd think that he would have his team ready to play on the road, but they're not. I mean, they're 3-3 on the
yeah,
road this year.
yeah.
That
It's
is not good. I mean, again, you would think that in these moments, Dan Campbell, who's like the manliest man to be a head coach in the NFL right now, you'd think that they'd be ready to play on the road, but I recognize that the losing to the Packers in week 1, right when the Packers were having all that hype with the Parsons trade. So that at that moment the Packers were on top of the world, right? That's you can excuse that. And then the Chiefs, obviously, because Mahomes is the real deal. But that Vikings loss is really really bad, and then this loss again on the road. Um, is bad as well. So they've got the Rams on the road coming up and the Bears on the road coming up. And I got to tell you, what I'm watching right now and looking at how Caleb Williams is playing right now, they could lose both of those games.
yeah, yeah. The Bears look pretty good.
So I don't know, man. I was buying into the Lions last year, but this year there's something off.
No,
Um,
for sure, for sure.
it's crazy, to be honest with you. Because honestly, I don't know about you. I was rooting for Detroit. They were a great story. I liked seeing the
Yeah,
underdog. The I like seeing the underdog of the league, the laughing stock for like 50 years, actually start to be good again. And early on, they were looking like one of the best teams in the NFC, and it has just been diminishing returns ever since. And I know injuries are hurting them a little bit, but you can't blame it all in injuries, plain and simple.
right.
So, yeah, man, I don't know how to read Detroit. They're really tough. I don't know. I feel like they're really good, but they aren't reaching their potential. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't yeah, I think that's fair to say. And it was the same thing last year. I mean, they, come out, look really good in the regular season, and then obviously they were super injured last year with their defense, and their defense was, that part that looked really, really good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what it is and how they can get to the next step, but they got to figure it out at some point. I mean, it's
Yeah.
because they have all the pieces they need. They have an explosive offense with Amon Ra and Jameer and
Yep.
Jared Goff. He's doing enough. And it's just like, I mean, what's the next step here?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just I don't know. It's crazy because it's so weird. It's so weird to see teams go from worst to first and vice versa. And obviously the Lions weren't first, but they were very, very good. I mean, Campbell's poor coaching decisions cost them a trip to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I mean, that's what cost them in the NFC Championship game, if you recall, against it was the Niners, right? So it's just a shame to see the team regress like this and still be decent, but they should be so much better than what they are, man. It's
Yeah, their offense is too good for them to be this bad, honestly.
yeah.
Only to score 9 points, and I understand the Eagles' defense is good, but I mean, this offense is supposed to be elite.
Yep. Yep. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see we'll see what's gonna happen. Um yeah, the Lions remain a really, really odd team to me. So it'll be interesting to see how they progress moving forward and how the playoff picture, really comes into focus. Because they're probably gonna have to play on the road. Um, how that factors in.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, that is it for this episode of Catching the Facts. Thank you so much for listening. Looking ahead to next week, looking at the schedule here, the big noon game on ABC is going to be Missouri and Oklahoma. That is a ranked matchup. We'll see if it's worth discussing. Oklahoma's probably going to smoke them, so I'm not convinced that it will be something interesting, but it's possible. You've also got USC and Oregon. Can USC build on this momentum that they've seemingly had over the last few weeks? I
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's a big ask. I'm not convinced that that will completely happen. You've got Pitt and Georgia Tech. That could be.
that's an important game.
It's important. It's a critical game for Pitt.
Yeah,
Critical on the road. Um, you have to win that game. You
yeah.
have to. If you have any chance of making the ACC title game, you must win that game. And that's pretty much it for the college space, unless obviously we will factor in upsets, of course, as we always do on this show. When it comes to the NFL, looking ahead to next week, I mean, as per usual, it's a lot of garbage. The NFL has not blessed us with a great season so far, if we're being honest. Um, the Bengals do look not bad with Joe Flacco, so maybe they give the Patriots some trouble.
I don't think they do, especially next week with Jamar Chase being suspended. I don't think they do anything.
You know what? I didn't even factor that in with Jamar Chase being suspended. You're right. That's a huge loss for them. But again, you never know. Flacco has done crazier things before,
Yeah,
so we'll
Drake
keep it.
May just looks too. I don't know. He just looks too good right now to.
Yeah,
Uh, like if Jamar's in, that's a different story. But with him out, I don't think so.
yeah, I agree.
You never know.
And then for me, this is the game of the week: Colts and Chiefs. Um,
Yeah.
the Chiefs are losing a lot of very odd games. On the road, they look awful, just like Detroit, oddly enough. Um, this is a big game for the Colts. That Steelers win, I have not been able to wash that out of my mouth. Um, since they lost to the Steelers. Um, so this is the game, man. For them to prove themselves on the big stage in Arrowhead. Can they come away with a win? If they can, I think we can finally really take them seriously. Can Daniel Jones outplay Patrick Mahomes?
Man, big ask, but
It is a big ask, but I got to tell you, I think he has the better team around him.
I
So,
agree. Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Um,
Yep.
and then also you've got Bucks and Rams. Again, can Baker? I know they lost this game, but can Baker build on some of that momentum and maybe upset the Rams in LA? That'll be an interesting game too. So the NFL's got a couple solid ones peppered throughout the garbage. You just have to look for it. But there should be a number of interesting games to talk about next week. Um, other than those ones, Eric, are there any that you're interested in or no?
Not really, like, college football
Who does
wise.
Ohio State play?
Who do they play?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
it's,
Isn't that like an unranked team?
yeah, it's Rutgers, it's Rutgers, it's right, it's Rutgers.
It's Rocky. Yeah, that's
A lot of schools aren't really playing too many good teams. I mean, look at Texas A&M, they're playing Samford.
yeah. The second to last game of the year, right before rivalry week, no one wants to play anyone
No.
substantial. So college, you've got that barrier, but we'll find some fun stuff.
No, for sure. I'm
So,
sure crazy things will happen
um,
like they did this week, so
yeah, 100%. So that's all I got. What about you?
yep,
Okay, guys. So once again, thank you so much for listening to episode 12 of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. As always, we are airing our show on both YouTube and Spotify. We are releasing it every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please follow us on both platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff to help us grow our platform. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans, Eric? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, just start commenting on stuff.
Yeah, we would
We'll
love to hear your
respond to it.
thoughts, guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So please leave comments where possible. We love to engage. So um, who knows? Maybe we would address some comments on the show. I mean,
Maybe.
well, that's possible. So yeah, please leave comments. We love to hear your thoughts, guys. So that is it for this week on Catching the Facts. We will see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I'm your host, Dan Sisk,
And I'm Eric Schroeder.
and we'll see you then.